Hello everybody, welcome back. I just wanted to go over this metal infestation side quest for June 2023 with you. Kind of show you how good Kate Bishop can be for this side quest. She's more than capable of handling every single fight in this quest. So let's get right into it. This first fight we have a Miss Marvel. She's on Arcane Mastery, which basically benefits Mystic or Science champions. So for Kate Bishop, just ignore that. Miss Marvel also has the aggression precision. So if you don't hit them a lot, she's going to build up a lot of precisions and then do a lot of critical hits on you. But again, Kate Bishop, you're always very aggressive, so you don't have to worry about that node. And then Rich Get Richer. Whoever has more buffs is going to get more power gain. Miss Marvel's always going to have more buffs than Kate Bishop, so she is going to get the power gain. But as you know from previous videos, Kate Bishop has good power control. So, this is the easiest fight in the quest. There's nothing difficult about it. We finished that fight with 100% health, no problem. The second node, I have a Doc Ock on mine. Doc Ock has fight or flight. Basically, you want to be far away so that you get the unstoppable, not Dr. Octopus. So that's the only thing Kate Bishop can't counter kind of in this fight. We also have redlining, so once you get over 33% of a bar of power, you're going to get a lot more power gain. Again, Kate Bishop, just throw your special ones and you won't ever have to worry about, getting power drained. We have this concussive resonance, so you don't want to hit into their block because you'll get concussion passives on you, like I have 2 right now on me. So sometimes if you have a lot of those, that's not going to trigger your evade, parry, stun mechanic, and you won't be able to apply your trick arrow effect. So try not to hit into the block a lot on this node. And then while the opponent's in the corner, you can get some prowess buffs if you hit them a lot. But you don't really have to worry too much about that either. So this is also a pretty easy node, pretty easy fight. Nothing really too tricky about it. So the only thing is you just don't want to hit into the opponent's block a lot on this particular node. So all I'm trying to do is just build up, get another cold snap on Dr. Octopus here, and then I am going to finish this fight very shortly after that. Just want to be far away when that unstoppable triggers, which I was. I did get the concussion passive on me there, which was not ideal. But now we got another cold snap on, so the rest of this fight should be over very, very quickly. So I pretty much use Kate Bishop exclusively in all 18 runs that I did in the side quest for like the first 4 fights always. She's very good for all the first 4 fights. All right, next up, we have a Gwenpool on node 3. So this one has a falter passive. Whoever, if you're close to the defender, when that timer ticks down, you're going to get the falter. If you're far away, then the defender gets the falter. This is kind of made for cosmic champions, so they can get vigilance buffs to kind of bypass miss. But again, as long as you just stay far away from the defender, you're fine. Kate Bishop also has her tracking buff on her heavy attack right there. But she has a node, Gwenpool does, where if you bypass or miss, she will get some fury buffs. So really just stand far away from the defender on this node so that falter debuff applies to them and not you. And it's a very easy fight. So boom, right there. I got the falter on the defender, just applying my second cold snap here. So this is another fairly easy fight. The only kind of tricky defender I encountered on this node was Spot. When Spot's on this node, you just want to make sure you do lots of heavy attacks because he has his own miss mechanic in addition to the node mechanic. So node 4, we have a Taskmaster here. Basically, he's on a node called Acclamation. That's made for mutants to kind of purify debuffs off of themselves. But the debuffs that you get from the triple threat node basically are just free healing. So node 4, I just use for free healing for the entire quest. You should end this fight with 100% health pretty much every time. And then your bleed debuffs can last 100% longer. I don't really find that helpful for any of the particular champions I ever brought, so I never used bleed on this particular node. I only used Kate Bishop. She's very good for Taskmaster. She's very good for Kingpin that I encountered a lot on this node because she used a lot of passive abilities and not debuffs. So it makes getting through this fight very easy, whether it's, Taskmaster or Kingpin on this particular node. So Kate Bishop is actually one of the quicker champions to take down Taskmaster for sure. So he's dead. Now we have node 5. Node 5, they're going to get a lot of auto blocks on you on basic hits. They have a 40% chance to auto block basic hits. You have transducers, so you're going to get more power from your combat, power gain, but then you lose it with time when you're not hitting the opponent. And there's explosive personality, so when you hit into their block 5 times, they're going to build up armor buffs, and then you're going to take a big burst of energy. So with Kate Bishop, what you really want to do is just do heavy attacks. Use your stun, get that 30% ability accuracy reduction. I think I do trigger auto block once in this fight, but it doesn't really matter. It's a pretty easy fight with Kate Bishop. Her special attacks cannot be auto blocked. I don't think the node applies to special attacks in this fight anyways, but even if it did, Kate Bishop's special attacks could not be auto blocked. So in general, she'd be a very good counter for this fight. All you got to do is just, heavy attack, heavy attack, heavy attack, and then put your cold snaps on and just watch their health tick away. So this isn't one of the, that's a good thing about Kate Bishop. She has that good damage over time, so you're not sitting there having to constantly, hit them all the time and trigger that auto block. So you can see I did get auto block there on a heavy attack. I did take a 5-hit combo to the face. Not ideal, but that's okay. I'm going to put my second cold snap on Iron Man at this point, and, the fight's over. All his regeneration is just completely negated by our cold snap there. And he should be dead in about 3 seconds. Gone. All right, node 6. Node 6, they always put some type of spider hero on here that evades a lot. Here we have Spider-Man. This guy has bleed vulnerability, so you want to use some bleed debuffs. Bloody mess, so he only takes damage through bleed, basically. And then you don't want to dex him too much, because every time you dex him, you're going to get some fury buffs, and once you get 5, he's going to go completely unblockable, which for his special 1 is not ideal. And then, each damaging debuff you put on the opponent gives you a chance to get a true accuracy buff and kind of bypass evade. So my favorite, for this particular fight was Nick Fury. He was very good for this fight. But you can see in this fight, I got evaded so much in the beginning of this fight. All I was trying to do in the beginning was just use my cold snap to get the evade counter on Spider-Man, and then I was going to actually start putting my caltrops on to do bleed damage. So I think the first 3 or 4 times I tried to use my special 1, he evaded out of it, and I took these 5-hit combos to the face. Thankfully, he had those non-damaging debuffs on me the whole fight, so I was getting free healing, but finally got the cold snap on, so now I don't have to worry about his evade anymore. So now all I'm trying to do is just make sure I refresh that cold snap, because I do not want that to fall off again. And now I'm going to switch over to my caltrops and start putting caltrops on so we can start doing some bleed damage with him here. So you can see I'm starting to evade too many of his special 1s, and I'm building up these furies on me. So you can see right here, now he's unblockable. So that was a mistake that I made, and now he's going to launch a special 1 while he's unblockable. So I'm going to take that to the face as well. Boom. My mistake. But that's okay. Now we're starting to get our caltrops on, and now we can just kind of let him kill himself at this point. I think I'm going to try to push him to a special 2 because it's easier to evade here. And, after I dex that special 2, I should just kind of dash back, dash forward, dash back, dash forward, and just kind of let him kill himself through caltrops. So, again, with this particular fight, when you're using Kate Bishop, you have to go for your cold snap first to shut down the evade, because pretty much every defender they put on this node has evade. and then put your caltrops on, and it's a very easy fight after that. Now the last one, basically you do not want to knock the opponent down because they will get an unstoppable passive. You do get a fury buff when you knock them down, but Kate Bishop can't really deal with that unstoppable passive at all. So what I did here with Kate Bishop is I just built to a special 2. When I built to a special 2, you're able to get 2 copies of your Cold Snap at once while knocking them down 1 time versus like 2 special attacks. You can see I just knocked them down right there off of my my parry. I didn't mean to do that, but right here, boom, I intercepted them with my parry stun mechanic. You can see when you intercept them, that gets rid of that unstoppable passive and puts it on yourself. So that was just a mistake on my part early in this fight. But basically all I'm trying to do is just build to my special 2, get my cold snaps on, 2 of them, boom. And then I'm just going to try to intercept them and get that nice unstoppable passive on myself. So right here, boom, unstoppable passive on myself. You can see that took forever, so I actually lost my 2 cold snaps there. So not an ideal, perfect, fight, but again, Kate Bishop gets through it just fine. It just takes me about 10 more seconds to get through the fight. So, as long as you're not knocking the opponent down a lot, it's not a big deal. But even if you do, Kate Bishop's intercept parry mechanic can kind of counter that for you as well. So the last thing I just kind of wanted to show you is just kind of the team that I used in general for this questing node. I did do all 18 runs so far. So obviously my MVP was Kate Bishop. Like I said, I exclusively used her for the first 4 fights no matter what. And then afterwards I did use other champions for the most part, but there was probably 5 or 6 runs where I just used Kate Bishop. So very good MVP for this side quest. I did bring along Gore. Gore is very good for node 5 where you have to have a auto block counter. So, my Gore is Sig 200, so he always had an auto block counter up in the fight, very easy. He also has access to bleed debuffs, so he could be used as a backup for like node 6 if you had to. And then I did encounter Penny Parker on the 7th node about 6 times, so he's a very good Penny Parker counter. So he's got some good utility for a couple different fights. I brought Valkyrie along as well. My Valkyrie is Sig 200. I don't think I actually use Valkyrie at all in any of the fights, but she's very good for that last node where you never have to knock them down. You can do some big damage. I also brought her along for the Penny Parker counter on node 7 because I could quickly take down her Sync Shield. I brought Human Torch along. Human Torch I only used on node 7 when there was a Doctor Doom or a Mystic Spider-Man. Again, just a complete Mystic killer. You don't have to knock the opponent down to do big damage with Human Torch. Very good counter for node 7 when there was Mystic champions on it. And then the last champion that I brought along was Nick Fury. Nick Fury was very good for any of those nodes that the bleed vulnerability was on. But, an absolute MVP for node 6. I mean, he'll finish that fight in about 20 seconds for you, no matter what defender's on it. So yeah, I did use Kate Bishop, maybe 6-7 times for that node in my 18 times, but the other times I used Nick Fury, and he just absolutely killed it for me. So hope that helps you guys. Hope it shows Kate Bishop, very good champion. See you guys later.